This is Me the People Perspectives. I will be showcasing some things that North Korea and Israel have in common. While there are many fine examples, this particular video will showcase a recent arrest in Australia and the remarks made by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the Jerusalem Post Conference. December 17th, 2017. A South Korean-born Sydney man charged Sunday with acting as an economic agent for North Korea in Australia by allegedly attempting to broker sales worth tens of millions of dollars for Pyongyang that included components used in ballistic missiles. The Australian Federal Police said 59-year-old naturalized Australian Chan Han Choi used encrypted communication to broker sales and discuss the supply of weapons of mass destruction. Police said the man was acting to generate income for Pyongyang by arranging the sale of, get this, computer software used for guiding ballistic missiles, as well as expertise from North Korea to other international entities. Police didn't elaborate. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said he had been briefed by AFP Commissioner Andrew Colvin on the very, very serious matter.
And I'm glad to see all the diplomats assembled here. There is a flourishing of Israel's diplomatic relations. You can see it in the pictures. Mr. Modi and I are wading in good waters. Mr. Trump and I are walking on an important path together. The Prime Minister of Australia is here. We commemorated 100 years of the liberation of...
Despite international sanctions, cash-strapped North Korea last month test-fired its most powerful missile that may be able to target the U.S. mainland. In their dreams, the only way that a North Korean missile can reach the U.S. mainland is if it is not North Korea firing the missile. Choi is facing 6 charges related to brokering the sale of missile componentry and expertise. Yes, expertise from North Korea to other... Does this sound like they're describing North Korea to you? North Korea, the country where its supreme leader is monitoring its ballistic missiles on antiquated computer screens.
Basically two things, economy and security. Economy, because we're in the midst of a great change in the world, and the change is the move not merely to technology, but a certain kind of technology. And it's the connection between big data, connectivity, and artificial intelligence. It's got about 500 tech companies. Out of the thousands of startup companies that we have tech companies now that deal with cars. You use Waze? Yes. In just about every one of your countries? Yes. Okay. Where does Waze come from? Yeah. Who did they sell it to? Google. For how much? No, $1 billion. Nothing. Caroline Glick, this was sold for nothing. Gazillion. Okay. Nothing. So that's one thing that you use and you know is changing the way people drive cars. But cars are basically computers on wheels. 85% of a car's value. Okay? In 5 years, 10 years, 85% of a car's value will be software. That's where we can compete. Big data, connectivity, artificial intelligence. So I just gave you Waze, now I give you Mobileye. Mobileye was sold not for $1 billion, it was sold for $15 billion, still cheap. to Google. But the interesting thing is Google didn't just buy it. They said, we buy it. Sorry, Intel. They didn't just buy it. They said, we buy it and we give you the keys to 30 autonomous vehicle businesses around the world to be headed from here, from Jerusalem. Ki mitzion titzeh tochna. How the hell do I translate that? I don't know. Okay? Suppose you want protection for your cell phones. You use cell phones? You have bank accounts? You want them protected? Well, you need protection. Where's that protection? Can you show our complex in Beersheba? That's where a lot of that protection is coming from. That's our new cybersecurity thing. If you haven't seen it, I invite all of you to see the public part that we can show. In our new cybersecurity headquarters, we've taken our cybersecurity units, an industrial park, and right next to Ben Gurion University with a train station and a fast rail that will be even faster to Beersheba, from Beersheba to Tel Aviv. Why is that important? Here's why it's important. Can you? This is Israel's share at the end of last year of the global investment in cybersecurity, in companies that deal with cybersecurity. We received 20% of the world share in this. 20%. That's 200 times our size in the world's population. If you want cars, if you want milk, if you want health, if you want cybersecurity, Israel is a key player. This is what is driving that map. Go back to the map. This is what is driving that map, world map. Everybody needs the future. Israel is seizing the future. And we're ready to share it with other countries. There's a second reason why that's happening. It's not merely technology, it's the other T, and it's called terror. The sparks of Middle Eastern terror fly all over the world, from Australia to Canada, everywhere. And everybody needs protection against that threat. Israel's intelligence services are second to none. I say that carefully. Israel's intelligence services are second to none in having prevented dozens of major terrorist attacks in dozens of countries. Everybody is interested, except the generator of some of these things, like, see the countries, that country in red. It takes Israel out of the proposed myth of isolation into a tsunami of diplomatic, economic, security, and technological ties. Next.
And then he goes on to state that North Korea is a dangerous, reckless criminal regime threatening the peace of the region. It supports itself by breaching UN sanctions, not simply by selling commodities like coal and other goods, but also by selling weapons, by selling drugs, by engaging in cybercrime. Federal Police Assistant Commissioner Neil Gauguin said that the governments of Indonesia and Vietnam, or at least the authorities in those countries, were not involved in the coal transfer attempt. Choi is the first person charged under Australia's brand spanking new Weapons of Mass Destruction Act and could face a maximum 10-year prison sentence. And Gauguin said that the charges related to his alleged activity over the past year, but that allegations dated back to 2008. And this guy has just been left to hustle for Pyongyang for 9 years. Then they're saying that Choi didn't appear or apply for bail in a Sydney court on Sunday. I guess it's just as well because bail was formally refused. So where is Choi? If he's been arrested, how come he didn't make it to court? What have they done with Choi? Is there a Choi? What is this really all about?